Now back in Aspern itself. I've just come down that road over there. You can see that's basically the line of the French front line, heading all the way up to Essling. I'm back in Aspern, the small village, or the larger of the two villages of Aspern and Essling, and I'm standing here in front of the Lion of Aspern, which is the Austrian memorial to the battle. Of course, there it is there in all her glory. Again, I'm not really sure what she says because it's in German, but I'm sure our German speakers amongst us out in the audience could tell me, but it basically obviously says it's the commemorates the battle of the 21st and 22nd of May 1809. What you can also see, interestingly, obviously the lion is a symbol of Austria, and it's lying right on top of some French eagles. We are right in front of the church at Aspern as well, so they just called everyone to service for the 11 o'clock service, so I just had to sit through the bells, so I waited a few minutes. Interestingly, what we've got in this area is quite a few memorials. I'll show you some of these, and I'm going to go into the little museum. Again, whether I film that or not depends on whether they like me, and really what's in there as well. It's a baking hot day today, it's lovely. Let me just come round the back of here. I think this was constructed in 1858, or at least it says on the back it was anyway. So you see the back of it here again, lying on more French eagles. Yeah, 1858 this was created, so that's what, 49 years after the battle had ended. You see how hot it is here. I'm sorry, I'm just letting those kids go past so I don't look too weird filming things, but as I say, we're basically at the bottom of the church here. I'm just going to come round this side simply because there's quite a few memorials here and there. I want to show you some of these while I'm here. So this is one here in French, the officers and soldiers of the Grande Armée of Napoleon, tout marqueur de la campagne 1809, they donnaient leur vie pour peur. And also memoir to Marshal the Emperor Jean Lannes, or Lannes, I'm not sure, Duke de Montebello, and he was killed on the 22nd of May during the battle. He was one of the big casualties of it, along with Hiller, Marshal Hiller, General Hiller on the Austrian side. But Lannes was killed when a cannonball struck his leg. He was sat on a wall, and a cannonball struck his leg. He didn't take it off, but he did have to be amputated, and he died later on that day, unfortunately for him. Lannes was holding one side. He was holding the granary over at Essling, where we've just been, and that was where he was doing most of his fighting. But yes, one of the more famous casualties of the battle itself. So let's just come back again. You can see again there's the Lion Memorial. I'm just going to come around the side of this church again, simply because there are a couple more memorials over here as well. We're going to take those in. I'll give you a good idea, and also I can show you as well where the museum itself is. The little white building there is the museum. I think it's only one room. I think it's only quite small, but the door seems to be open, so I'm going to go and check and see if I can get in. We have a German language memorial here, 22nd May 1809. Again, my German is not good enough. This seems to have been put up in May 1936. One thing I forgot to mention is that over the road, you might not be able to see it, behind that bus there, I did take a photo of it, is another memorial that was put up, I think, in 1988, 1990, for the Archduke. Obviously a big man here. So we've got a few memorials over here, but these are nothing to do with the battle. These are local dignitaries, I believe, probably to do with the church, probably paid a bit of money to be buried in this. But what we do have over here are two more memorials for the battle itself. We have Friedhof der Franzosen, which roughly translates, in my rough German, translates as the cemetery of the French soldiers. So they were probably buried in here. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm assuming they were probably buried here in the consecrated ground. And what we also have over here, interestingly, is the Pulver Magazine de Franzosen, which is the powder magazine of the French. So I'm assuming this is where their artillery powder was. I couldn't be 100% sure on this one, but you can, if anyone can let me know in the comments, please do. I think I've translated it correctly. It's difficult to read. I'm sure it's Pulver rather than Vulva magazine, because that's a very different thing. So I think there might be another memorial over here. I can see a cannonball on it, so I'm going to head down and have a look at it, see what it is. Just take a quick look at this. It may or may not be connected to the battle. I've not looked at this one yet. Yes, of course it is connected to the battle. This appears to be a list of... Oh, this seems to be an order of battle, actually, for the Austrian army, I think, by the looks of things. Difficult to read in this light. But yes, it looks to be... Or is it? I think yes, I think it's, we got 6th Corps and the 1st Corps there. I do apologise, this one's a bit difficult to read, so I'm not entirely sure what that is. But it looks like it is a this was erected in 1982, but I think, yeah, it must be the Austrian regiments that fought in the battle, because obviously everybody knows about these battles from the French side, but not from the Austrian side so much. And what do we have here? A tree. So Friesland is ungeweiht. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher the German here, but this one is 18 this planted in 2009, and a tree, a commemorative tree, I assume, for the plant. I wonder if that's an oak. I don't know my trees. Perhaps it's an oak, which is the memorial for Germans, at least. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it could be the same in Austria, that oak is used as a memorial. And as I say, just there we have the museum, Aspern, 1809, just right behind us. So even in this tiny little spot, you wouldn't even know that a battle larger than Waterloo happened here, apart from some of these very small signs and bits and pieces. Right, I'm going to go and check out the museum. As I say, I may or may not film that. You'll have to wait and see. If I do, keep an eye on the channel, and if you like this, please do share it, give me a like, say hello in the comments, and I shall sign out and see you in the next one.